What is it going to take to bring the market back down? Today is what, the 5th of May? We've been into this coronavirus thing now for almost 2 months. We had a big correction when it, or dive, plunge, whatever word you want to use, when it first came out, and then it's been a V. Why? We know that, what is it, 30 million people are unemployed. We know that they aren't going to be making their rent payments. We know they aren't going to be making their car payments. We know that the banking industry is going to suffer, and yet the market keeps going up. Today, it's the Dow is up, I think, about 350 points, and the S&P is up 50, and I'm making money. I'm making money today. But why? What is it going to take to make this correction? What is it going to take to make this market react the way we all think it should react? And the answer to that is we're misreading the market. We're misreading the overall effects and the convergence of what is happening relative to the corona crisis. The corona crisis is top of mind, but it is not what's driving the market. What's driving the market is the convergence of technology, the convergence of money funding that technology. Again, I want you to go down into the description and get this book. This book was actually written prior to the corona crisis, so they don't know about it. The two authors, Peter and Stephen, don't know about the coronavirus. But what they do know about is how technology is moving so fast, and through artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, high-tech, quantum computing, that our world is going to change within the next 3 years exponentially. More so than it has in the preceding 100 years. And those things coming together are going to change the world in such a way that we're going to become much more efficient. 3D printing is going to bring manufacturing back to the United States. It's going to just spur entrepreneurship. You've possibly seen young kids making masks and mask holders with 3D printers in their basements. These are young children. When you read this book, you're going to hear how you will buy your clothes and they will be 3D printed, stitched in the back of a store someplace. And if you want to copy a Louis Vuitton or whatever they are, or Dior, you can. And you will have it for a fraction of the price of the real thing. And it won't be off of a hanger. It will fit your body. And that's why the market is not correcting, because there are people who have read this book. And if you haven't, go to the description. I'd encourage you, get both the Audible copy and the written copy, because what's in here needs to sink into your mind, and you need to remember it. I believe that we are experiencing the same thing that we experienced from 2009 through 2018. We are experiencing $10 trillion worth of capital being pushed into a convergence of technology that is, we are on the doorstep of. And much, if you look at a chart of the S&P or the Dow against the debt of the United States over between 2008 and 18, you will see they just laid right up against each other. But the difference is that 10 trillion came into the market over a 10-year period. we've got a situation going on right now where $10 trillion is coming into the market, probably over something of a 12 to 18 month period. Now, I'm not an economist, but I know that money has to land somewhere. It has to end up somewhere. The last 10 trillion ended up in the big nine. It ended up in IBM, Alibaba, Microsoft, Tencent, Apple, Baidu, Facebook, Amazon, and Google. That's where that $10 trillion ended up. I did a video where I showed you how their market caps ate up a good portion of that $10 trillion. Well, we got another $10 trillion coming in, and that's why the market isn't going down. The market knows that, and they know about the convergence of technology, of money, and they know we're in for a boom. Now, how the governments rectify the debt and how they get that paid for, I am sure they believe, and they may be right, as this technology drives the price of those companies up and makes your life better, they'll be a beneficiary in the form of taxes. Again, is it going to put a lot of people out of work? Yes, it's going to put a lot of people out of work. But it's also going to change the work situation. And we're going to have, rather than a decrease in the number of jobs, an increase in the number of jobs, because technology is going to make us so much more efficient. So that's why this market is not going to, and I shouldn't say that, that's why this market may show a correction, but it's just going skyward. And if you want to be a part of it, put your money in companies that are going to change the way you live. Look at robotics. Look at 3D printing. I'll be doing videos on it. Look at the change in the transportation industry. Look at the change in the retail industry. Look at the change in the medical industry. The insurance industry. I'm going to do a whole video on how there is no reason at 75 that all I take is a statin and I'm not overweight and I'm the fastest 75 to 80-year-old in the state of Alabama. I run the 100 meter, the 200 meter, and the 400 meter and the 50-yard dash. Why I should have the same insurance rates as somebody who is the same age as me, weighs 310 pounds, and doesn't get in his 10,000 steps a day. There is no reason. And the economy will take care of that. The convergence of technology will take care of that. The real estate industry is going to change. Please go to the description. If you don't read any other books in the next year, you must read this one.